Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin. I'm the National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But this incredible broadcast that you're about to tune into with some great tidbits and info that's new in the industry and sort of up and coming for sure. Look, whether you made it to PPAI Expo live in Las Vegas for the extraordinary event experience that they had out there, or if you're suffering from a bit of FOMO like Meg and myself because you didn't or weren't able to make it out there to the live event, PPAI has the solution, guys. PPAI Expo Direct to You is the extended PPAI Expo experience conveniently located online. And as we experienced from the Direct to You last year, it's a great opportunity for people that wouldn't normally be able to attend that show to really get the exposure. So it features opportunities to meet with suppliers and enjoy industry-focused sessions from the PPAI Expo conference, as well as the collection of interviews and promo shorts from Expo Live. That is PPAI Expo Direct to You. It's open only on Tuesday and Wednesday, February 22nd and 23rd. So register today at ppai.org/expo-D2U. That is ppai.org/expo-D2U. And have fun. I think it's going to be a great experience, and really looking forward to that. So why don't we say hi to Meg Erber this morning? How are you doing, Meg?
I'm doing good. Did you guys have a nice
afternoon now, right? Depending on where you're at.
It is. Did you guys have a nice Valentine's Day with your wives?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we don't really do a lot for Valentine's because
it's you're bah humbug. Yeah.
Well,
they're like,
I mean, I'm not really all for a commercially invented holiday, where they jack up the prices like 10 times. Do you know what it costs for like a single rose on Valentine's Day?
I know that like a couple dozen are very, very expensive.
It's just stupid. I like money more than that. So
yeah.
I want to stay married, so I just
I know.
No, do you guys ever put off the holiday because it's not convenient and go, we're going to move this to Friday because
we're known for waiting to the last minute. So our cards will say, this is what you're getting for Valentine's Day. That always happens. Or this is what we got you. It's just not here yet.
So officially, I haven't had Valentine's Day yet. It's tomorrow.
Oh, well, good.
Well, happy early Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Steve McFadden, how are you doing today?
Doing well. I'm adjusting back to East Coast time. Yeah.
How was the experience?
It was overall it was great. We had there were some challenges and stuff that we faced, but man, it was a lively city. I think we were like 24 hours off from it being a madhouse on that podcast last week. I think all the people started flying in Thursday and Friday, and it was billboard and banner central. It was wild. There was a lot of people, a lot of parties, a lot of fun stuff.
What's funny is that actually after the show, when we got off, as you were continuing to walk into the hotel, you walked past one of the pop-up shops. So it's unfortunate timing, but that's how quick that stuff goes up, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It was. I just gotten back to the hotel. We were kind of talking about the broadcast, and I'm like, this wasn't here. Like when I left the hotel this morning. Like what is happening? It was like that all week. So, no, but it was cool. I'm glad we could do that. That was a fun experience. So
yeah, and of course the Rams won. And for anybody that didn't tune in last week, I was wearing a Rams jersey. My dad's a big Rams fan, has been since the Colts left Baltimore, and so it was a big night for him. So excited for him. So congrats again, Pops. And then we are joined today by a very special guest, Jeff Anderton with SnugZ USA, and we're going to talk about some technology that you guys were showcasing at Expo. And we're gonna get into that, dive into that. But it is customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minute introduction of yourself, who you are, all things Jeff Anderton, what you've been up to, how you got started in the promotional products industry, and all that good stuff. Boy. So give it to us.
That's a long story, but no. Well, we were ski instructors, my brother and I, and we're always losing our lip balm. So we made this little neoprene holder, and long story short, we got those into some retail shops, Walmart, and when I was like 22, I've been in the industry for 23, almost 24 years. I can't believe that. I did that math the other day. But I grew up with Meg, it seems like. You know?
Yeah,
but,
we did. We were like the kids of the industry back then, back in the good old days.
Was that leashable?
Yeah.
Was it really? Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
well, we were, so had to support the stores, the Walmart stores, and we didn't have any money. I mean, they wanted millions of dollars for TV commercials or whatever. So we were like, well, what if we bought a motorhome, painted it up, and traveled the country and hit all the Walmart stores? And they were like, yeah, that's awesome. We're like, done. So we did that for like 2 years. And while we're traveling around, people would say, hey, can I put my logo on this? And we're like, why would you want to do that? I don't understand that. And so we discovered the promotional industry. That's how we did. And next thing you know, we were going to all the different shows that were available. And still, it took years for us to understand it. And we got to where it grew super fast. But we just wanted to make content. That's why we really got into. We made ski videos for the first presentation we made to Walmart. We walked in and showed them a ski video, and at the end of it, it was like lip balm. We're like, sweet. We thought it was so cool. I edited on iMovie the night before. It was crazy. But so we sold leashables and started a media company and did a lot of work for agencies outside the industry, and but stayed in close contact with a lot of suppliers and distributors and got to see how they were using content and developing content and like worked with like Gene Geiger and built a lot of their back end and did a lot of really cool stuff. And we had a lot of supplier customers, and SnugZ was definitely one of them, one of my favorite. And I always said if I ever were to work for somebody again, it would be probably SnugZ. And at some point, they made that work, and so I've been with SnugZ now for almost 7 years, and I'm the director of content there. And I mean, it's a long story, but that's the short end of it. That's how I found the industry. I fell into it. I think last week you said you were born into it. I was almost born into it. I was like 10, but
it was so crazy. I didn't know your Leashables backstory. I remember buying direct from Leashables. So yeah, that's wild. It's crazy.
Circle, doesn't it?
I didn't have a beard, and I had a mohawk back then, so you might not have recognized me. But
there's this
That's pretty
infamous
cool.
picture going around, Jeff, of you and your brother.
Yeah,
I always gotta
saw
just
that.
say it because it was on the cover of an ASI magazine, and they're like shirtless, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I think they got in
Find
trouble for that one. I couldn't
Like,
believe
that was
Michelle Bell. She was all
Yeah.
Michelle. Yeah, so,
We love her.
Yeah.
But like that was you. That was like that's why people are just so drawn to you, is because you step outside the box. You do these things that like this is an older industry, you know, very like conservative in the way of like of their thinking. And then people like our, I guess, generation of people came into it, you know, Jeff and Steven, they're a little younger than us, but you know, and we're shaking things up. And then you do stuff like that and people remember. And that's why I'm just going to constantly remind you of it. But why we brought you on today was like, I was so excited to just kind of see the launch, and I didn't get to go to Expo. So I was so disappointed, but you guys launched this really, really cool piece of technology to support your product sampling and some other things. And I don't know, I'd really like to hear about it. I'm really excited about it. So I guess we should probably talk about what it is first, right? Like the app.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
it's
it is something we've been working on for a long time. We've just been waiting for the right time for this to be pushed out. Because years ago when tried to get video into the industry, we were a little early, and I learned you got to wait till the time's right. And I figured out a lot of the warning signs and the things to watch for. But I think COVID really helped push that. The pandemic really helped push a lot of this stuff. And what I'm talking about is augmented reality. And it's been around us for years and years outside the industry, but it's not a new thing. But I've never really seen it done done well, or I mean, there's people working with it in the industry, but more on the distributor side, creating, integrated content, and it's some really cool stuff, but nothing from a supplier that I've really seen integrated into and supported, and with education and really backing it. And we felt now was the time with the technology that's there. Now, all of this stuff can be done natively on your mobile devices. So we're not needing to have you download an application, which was a huge deal for us because we've tried that in the past. And I don't like downloading apps to do things, and I hate it. Anytime we get that, it's like, oh, download an app, set up an account. And I'm like, no, I'm done.
No, thanks.
But now you can do all this through your phone. You scan the QR code and the object pops up and it's right there in front of you. And this is just one of the ways. There's so many ways that you can use this stuff, but this was the most simple and a good way to get it introduced, we felt.
So it's funny you say that because QR codes have been around for a while. Like I remember back in my Jetline days, I did a self promo and put a QR code on it. It was like a ice mitt. I still have the ice mitt actually. The QR code I don't think links to anything anymore, but they were a great idea. They were a really good idea, but you had to download the software, the app or whatever. And then it kind of went away or faded away. You'd occasionally see it on the back of a ketchup bottle or at some restaurant, but then COVID hit and then nobody wanted to have their menus out. They wanted to touch the menu. So then it was, you just started seeing it more and more places and you don't have to download the app. You just hold your phone up to it. You open your camera, the camera scans the QR code. You're not pushing any buttons. A link pops up, you hit the link and then it opens up. Right. So what you guys did was kind of, I don't know. I don't want to tell your story, but I want to kind of lead up to it. But basically SnugZ has this really cool AR component to their products. So whereas they scan the code and then the product will pop up. Do we want to show that?
Want to show the video?
I do. Yeah. Can we show that video real quick?
Yeah. Let's see if I can get it popped up here.
Yeah.
Check that out.
So cool.
I just did it. I'll show you guys.
No sound, Jeff.
Yeah. I might not be able to control that.
I think you have to hit control or sound first before you share the video. Like share sound.
The video wasn't muted.
A little bit, I guess, huh? So it's there, but it's not really there. But it is there.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the sound was video, anyways. But basically, for people that are listening to the audio portion of the podcast, it's basically showing the video and how the technology works. You scan the QR code with the phone, like Meg described. You click the little hyperlink that pops up automatically, and it takes you right into it, and it launches the product that's linked to that QR code. So, why don't we
your flashback? I just did it very easily. So, like,
can you put the real quick, can you put
camera.
the QR code back up on the screen? And then I want to challenge everyone who's watching the podcast to open up their phone, scan that QR code really quickly, and just see it for yourself, because what it's going to do is open up this 3D version of this mug. But then in the top upper right-hand corner, there's a little button that says AR. So Steven, click that AR button.
Yep.
And now this pops up on your desk. Like you could be out in the golf course, you could be wherever you are. This product now shows up and you can see what that product looks like with your logo on your desk, right? Or the logo thing is coming. Am I right, Jeff?
Yeah,
I work for SnugZ now too, by the way.
Yeah,
just kidding.
I wish. That'd be awesome.
But no, this is, I love it. Cause I've been pushing this stuff anyway. Jeff and I are in like a mastermind group together, and we literally just talk about this stuff, and we're just so over the moon. We're like the nerds of the group, like texting.
Like,
Can you see this?
They're talking about AR again or VR. No,
that's the cool. Same. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's to see it come right off, on these, we have made a bunch of these cards up, but we've integrated into our website. We're allowing those QR codes to be, they're not branded SnugZ. So our distributor partners can take those and use it in their own marketing, and just have these objects that right from a flyer, right from an email, you can pop it right off the screen and drop it on your desktop. And what a great way to engage in all these different items and really see and experience what it looks like and what that logo might look like on your desk or in a different environment. I'm really excited about this. And take pictures with it. I do it all the time.
And I believe if I'm not mistaken, you guys are you're either already are or going to start incorporating the virtual component to that, right? Is that
we're not
TBD.
yeah, it's not perfected. We've got to get it ready for scale. We can do it right now. I can change a logo on it right now, but we know how many virtuals we do on a regular basis, and we know the demands there just from the show that we just got back from and all the feedback we're getting. But we knew that to begin with, and not just that virtual component, but I shouldn't even get into this because as soon as we talk about it, they're like,
it evolves and changes too.
Yeah,
the minute you talk
Jeff
about
said
it
today that you can put my logo on it. We're getting there, and this is step one, and it's a great first step, and we just want to introduce it to the industry and get people talking about it, and we hope other people start using this technology because what it can do for our industry, I believe, is pretty fantastic and exciting, and not just in a marketing wow way, but in a utility, a real utility for us, and down to like product configurators, and there's so much you can do with this, and I hate to even get into it because that is step 20, but this is step 1. And as we get into like the VR realm, and these objects are going to play into that, and we're going to need this kind of content to do, like we're using these 3D objects for even within our videos we do now we can animate, and there's so much you can do, or find better details, like you click it and an exploded view of that object so you can see all the components, and there's a ton, and I'm so excited. It's just there's a lot of legwork to do on that end and some development work, but creating objects, step 1, and right now we've got over 20 products right now built, and we're just trying to refine the process and keep that momentum going,
That was my next question. I was going to say, do you have your entire catalog built out yet? And obviously not, only 20, but that's okay. I just didn't know. And how long does it take to build one product in your catalog? And then I'm assuming it's the 3D aspect of it, right? Oh, sorry. Is this a touchy subject?
There's a lot of steps to it. And I thought I knew a lot about this stuff to begin with, but what a learning curve. And it's not that it's difficult. It's just, there's no book out there there's nothing out there that shows all these pieces together. So what we're trying to do with the AR, and then there's a lot of back end on how to make that one button, because there's different platforms, right? There's Android, there's iOS, and those take different file formats. So we don't want anyone to have to even know that or understand it. We just want them to be able to click a button and it works. And so on our back end, there's a lot of work that's been done that just makes it that simple. But to answer your question, Meg, the first one took about 2 months. But we're down. I can create these now in, a couple days. A lot of the work goes into texturing, and how complex the item is, like a backpack or something would take a lot more time. Obviously, we're starting on our drinkware line, and they're a little more straightforward objects, so it's not too crazy. But we're really going to see values in, like have talked about in the past, apparel is going to be amazing.
I can't wait for that.
Drop it on. I mean, literally, you're seeing it. You take a thing and you can drop it on, and it sets on their shoulders, and you can pick it up in the virtual realm, pick it up and move it around and make it fit right. It is
right, exactly.
It is unbelievable what you can do with it.
That's what I was saying, and I was reading an article yesterday, and I know it's not here to replace things, but to supplement it, right?
Right.
I mean, even the sampling process, it's going to cut back waste and by 30%, I think, something along those lines. And it's going to be more sustainable overall. I mean, there's still things that go into it, but I think overall with shipping, logistics, time, it's going to really be a huge factor moving forward, I think, in the way we can communicate and we can market. I mean, just think about if I can't go into a meeting, I could pop that QR code right up on the screen. I actually add the QR codes into my presentations as they are now, because it offers some type of interaction. And then it pops up and it's like, oh, here's our what's new catalog. And it's right on their phone. They can forward it. They can mess with it. So this is so cool. If I'm like dropping into a meeting and I'm like, hey, check this out, and it's a quarter zip or a t-shirt, and then they could like scan the room with it and put it on their buddy, and then it literally can see. Meg, that's going to wow the customers.
It's I mean, what an impact! Impact! These drinkware items, which they're pretty basic items, but I'll tell you what: when they take that simple red cup, and our salespeople are using it right now, and in the Zoom meetings or whatever, they do a lot of things virtual now. just taking that cup and look at it. Now they're walking around the office showing people. It's just an amazing way to engage with that product, and one that they're not going to forget, even on these more simple items,
So I'm going to ask the tough questions, right?
Yeah, do it. I want them.
I like the idea of the interaction, and I think it's an amazing sales tool, but with something like apparel, I mean, I can scale it to your size, but that may not actually be how it fits, right? Or I can't tell how the fabric feels, and I don't know if this is a tri-blend or a 100% cotton. So part of what's attractive to, hard sampling, and maybe this is the first step to weed out, right? Like, so we're not getting wasted products beforehand, but how do I know that this is such a nice piece? And maybe that's where the exploded views come into play and more of that. But these are also renderings, right? They're not real images either. So there's different sheens and stuff.
But
so
you see how some of the photorealistic stuff, we go to Adobe Max every year, and they put up 2 images and they said, tell me which one is the fake one. And I could not tell the difference. I could not. So we're getting there. This is not to replace a real sample. This is the supplement and complement. Absolutely.
Nice.
I mean, the way we're doing business now, a lot of it's not in person. And then where it can go, I mean, by the time we get to where we want to be, you'll be able to get the product close through our configurator, but ultimately you're still going to have a signed proof and all of that. But this is just to get the job done faster, maybe save some waste and time along the way. And I tell you what, there's some items where if you look at it and it's on my desk, I can't tell that it is not really sitting on my desk, and it looks pretty legit. And if you take that phone and look through, you can go through you can look through the inside of that cup. Now, I don't know if you'd ever do that with a mug. Well, why not a backpack to see all the different pockets and all the different things? So from an email, you can drag it off and really get a good idea of what you're looking at without having a physical sample in front of you.
And I agree. I think the way to use it, and maybe this is where it'll eventually hone in, is things with features. So something that you can't tell moves, or you can't tell this opens up or something like that. That's a super beneficial sales tool. Sorry, Jeff, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, I'm really glad that you.
Oh, sorry.
Were you talking to this Jeff or that Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeff
Franklin.
That Jeff.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I'm really glad that you asked those questions, because it's exactly what I had in my head, and I was trying to figure out how to bring it up in the right way, because I'm typically the guy that's a little too forward with that kind of stuff. And I don't want to blow this up, because I think it's great technology, and there's certainly a lot of good uses for it. Like, the fact that if this is in your catalog and you can scan the QR code there and you can pull that up and you can see the 3D images of it, that's really the advantage versus the catalog. Because the question I was originally going to ask, well, how is this different than just the image in a catalog? And the fact that you can actually twist it, turn it, spin it, and see all the different varying degrees of the item is lovely. Now as far as scale and actual physical touch, like, you can't tell the weight of the mug or the cup or anything like that, so it's not going to replace the physical sample at all, ever. And Stephen, the point with the apparel was spot on as well, and it's exactly what I was thinking, because I can go and see a dress in a store, and it just looks okay, but then my wife puts it on and it looks phenomenal. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I never would have thought that dress looks that way on a body. And so it's like, trying to figure out the apparel side of it. Like you said, you can crop an image and put it on you, but it's not going to show you how it fits. So I'm wondering how far we are from that technology to really be able to tell that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Body scanning and then showing it how it would fit on you. I mean,
we're not far from that. There's
really
in the future. Yeah, it's going to be in the future.
I mean, how many have you done the try your glasses on feature in like Warby Parker or?
Yeah, it shows it on your face and stuff.
Yeah,
that's how I bought half my glasses now, and I'm really
weird.
Yeah. Thank you, Meg. But
I got these.
You're also a bit red now.
I know.
I got these for free. For Oakley's though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But this stuff works, and you can, when you create the item, you can set it at 100%, and that is real life size, and it knows based on the
scale of the room, kind of thing.
It knows 100%.
Gotcha.
When it's at 100%, that's the correct scale. Now you can blow it up and do weird stuff with it, but it will say 100% and lock it in, and almost sticks to the size. So
like the llama. We were playing.
Yeah, exactly. So
For
yes,
those of you that don't know, they had a llama as one of their QRs there at Vegas, because they didn't bring back the real llama. So you could actually pose with the llama and scale it like little, small, and gigantic.
You didn't know
How
that, Meg?
cool.
Oh,
You didn't see that in the
Yeah.
video, Meg? Were you not paying attention? Come on.
No,
now.
I wasn't. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
It was much easier than the real llama. I think
Yeah.
we should do that every year from now on. Like, no more cleaning up or anything.
Well, it does.
like
Yeah,
that.
I guess it does
Yeah.
take place with the cleaning up, but
Yeah, but I want you to make it so that I can ride it. You know, if I can ride the AR llama, then I'm all in.
You know, we did make an animated version where it looks over and spits. And the file, though, was so large that I didn't dare use it. But I mean, I was like, that's what we should do.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
and then just have like a spray bottle, just walk by. No.
Yeah, and I think if you're using this as an education tool as well, like you
Yeah.
said, you know, click on it and it shows you the exploded version and all the little parts and intricate details of different things. I think that's awesome as well. Like using this type of thing as an education tool, or being able to see sort of the more 360-degree stuff as opposed to a flat catalog. I think those are the real advantages.
So what's
Agreed.
next, Anderton? Sorry.
Oh
What's,
gosh, man. There's only so much I responsibly should get into, but I'm so excited. And what about seeing all the color options, or uploading a logo and it drops it on there? I mean, if you look in close at some of these objects, the detail is insane. You know, you can get in close and look at all the different bumps, and it's very detailed. And as we get better, that will even become more and more refined. And like you said, with our different objects, what if there's all these pockets or electric components within a backpack, or that you can click on a button, it spins the backpack to that location and opens and shows you. Now, this is real valuable features that will really make a difference in your life, not just something like, oh, that's cool, or even just seeing it in your room, sometime with your logo on it. It's going to save a lot of time and really give you a good idea of what that product looks like without having a physical sample, which isn't always possible in a quick way anymore, you know?
Yeah.
How do people access or know where to go for the 20 items that you guys have already uploaded? Are they marked on the website, or?
Question. Yeah, we have a section within the site now. Probably within this week or next week, we have a page that will list out every product and all the color options underneath it. That's just AR enabled. But right now, if you go into our drinkware section and go to the product page, anywhere you see the SwagAR logo,
Nice.
that
Okay.
item will be, I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
that logo that was on the video, you'll see it. It's hard to miss. And that's why we created the branding around it. We really wanted to have those pieces stand out. But within the next week or less, there'll be one page with all those items on there if you just want to see the ones that are AR enabled. So
Very cool.
and some education. We're creating education videos and just trying to make this, and you know, like how to use this, how should I use this, all the different ways. And as
That's a
we
good
get feedback from our customers, we're adding to that list as well. So
So
And who came up with the name SwagAR? Because it's obviously SwagAR, which is very clever.
Right.
So I want to know who the genius is behind that.
we spent probably a month on that, and we came up with a name, and I can't say what it was, and we were sold on it. We did branding around it. I mean, started creating all the assets, and then realized we registered it to be trademarked, and then it came back saying this might be a problem with something else. And so we're like, and this was a week away from when we were going to launch. And so Chris Duncan, our creative director, we had all these other lists. He created that brand within, I wouldn't say 4 hours, because he took it off our previous list and he said, we need a new brand like right now. And within the next day, he had that laid out, designed, and everything. So Chris Duncan should get full credit for that. He did.
That's
amazing.
awesome. He did really
Yeah.
good. So we're seeing all this happen more mainstream, and usually promo follows what's happening out in retail or what's going more mainstream. So I want to share this and then ask you a question, but So my daughter, I don't know if you guys can see this. My daughter got this on one of her toys. It was a mermaid. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was, but you scan this QR code and it's like, then you're literally in the bottom of the ocean, right? Like this is for the kids. Right. This is where like they, back then we're like, oh, we don't want the kids playing the video games and watching TV, but this is kind of how they're going to get like smarter and learn all this stuff. So we're seeing it out in real life. We're seeing it now in promo. How and where and what do you see this happening for this industry? Like, how do you see it? How does this happen for the rest of this industry? Like you guys just, have the back end, you've got the team, what if, Headwear USA was like, you know what? My reps aren't out seeing people. I think we need to get a virtual hat in every customer's hands. Like, what do they do to do that? How do they get there?
Well, I think what we're doing right now is how we get there. I think, look, we're talking about it right now. We're showing some basic usage of it. I think the more we're exposed to it, the more, not just within our industry, but you're going to see, this is exploding everywhere. And the more we start seeing and interacting it, it's just going to become just like video was. When I first started video, it was a long time ago. Everyone said, why do I need a video? Now, if you're not creating some kind of content on a weekly basis, you're just out of the game, So this will sort of be what happened, in my opinion, and a little bit faster just because of the pandemic and a lot of the new tools that are coming out. I think it's going to take a few large suppliers to get behind this and start using it, just like the whole video thing did. And then everyone's going to have to, and the tools will get easier and easier. Adobe's coming out with some amazing things that make this simple to do. And I think it's going to get less expensive, less complicated. There's going to be platforms that host it for you. And just like video. Now, look, we're streaming live. Do you know what we had to do this like 5-10 years ago? Now it's like, just click a button.
Or
and
just
it happens,
last week.
right?
Maybe. Or,
Anytime I try to log into Zoom, but no, you're right. And I remember I was trying to do a factory tour. I was on the CPBA board and we were like, we should do a virtual factory tour, like the first ever. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to do it. But at the time, Periscope had just come out and I was like, we can use Periscope. And but after that came out, it was like everything started happening. So it was really neat to see that,
I keep wondering when the bridge between services like Matterport, right, that use actual real images and floor tours will eventually merge with the AR capabilities, so I can manipulate real imaging. Like it's almost like that would be the next bridge. Instead of redesigning everything you see, use the stuff you see and then be able to manipulate onto it. Yeah. So like Matterport.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, please.
That's on its way. Like the last
Sneaks
that Adobe Sneaks, they came out, they showed a prototype. And usually they show a prototype and 2 years later you can actually use it. But they took their phone and they used the new app they were working on. It was a shoe that they did. They freaking put up the shoe, scanned it. It was a 3D object, photorealistic 3D object. And it was all coming from the imagery from the camera itself. And they sent it. You could now spin it around. It looked real. I mean, this is where we're headed. Now, you couldn't explode it and see all the components because it was one piece, but I mean, that pretty much describes what you're saying. And
have you heard of Fuse? Fuse came out a couple of years ago, and it's very similar. It was an app. You scan the item, you can move around it, and then wherever you moved, you could then manipulate it, move. And it's on its way. It's here, I guess.
It's here, yeah. So and everyone has it in their hand. Like we all have the device in our hands right now. So.
Jeff Anderton, have you heard of Meta Hero?
No.
So this is one of the things that I would probably send you or you would send me. So it actually is happening now. So if you go to metahero.io, basically it scans you. It's ultra HD photogrammetric. I can't say that word. Scanning technology, and basically it'll scan you, and that will put your avatar into the metaverse. So.
Meg, think about I think you told me about this actually. Like that's where I heard from it.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a second, I think this is out there. And then I was like, oh yeah, it is. metahero.io. So
I mean, think about like Pokemon Go, right?
That's the same thing.
Yeah, that was interacting with the real world and adding in AR around us. So it's here.
It's
here.
here. Now we just need to figure out the right ways that it fits for our
Sure.
needs. And I mean, it's been out there for a long time. What we want to find out is what works for us for the promo industry, what's going to really make a difference. And with the functionality coming where you can interact with these objects now without an app, that's the biggest, because you can, if you have an app, Adobe Aero, I can create interaction right now where it explodes and does all that kind of stuff, right?
Sure.
All the color options, everything, but you need an app. So we're trying to avoid that. But it's here. And when people start seeing what's out there and what's possible, more and more will start creating it. I hope. I mean, that's my hope.
Me too. Me
Very
too.
cool. Do you guys have any other questions for Mr. Anderton?
I don't think I do. I kind of.
I mean, I have a lot, but I'm
like-
excited. It's great.
Yeah. The conversation
really
could
cool.
definitely go on longer for sure. I mean, I have
Yeah.
questions about it because I think that's, one of the big drawbacks as well as to why it's not getting or hasn't gotten a ton of, early adoption is just because it is a rather expensive and timely thing to do. But how exactly, I'll have one final question then, I guess. How exactly are you guys doing it? Are they 3D CAD files that you're then inputting into this program, or how exactly is it done?
What most people don't realize is you probably have 3D objects already for majority of your products. If you've ever created a mold for that project, there's a 3D object already created somewhere. So a lot of ours we've created from scratch, but we have had ones that we found that we already had the objects for. And what I'm finding is the creation of the model is difficult, but it hasn't been the most difficult part. The most difficult part has been texturizing
Let's say coloring,
and making
texturing.
it look right, because it's not just color anymore. It's texture. It's because if you don't do it right, the light doesn't hit it. It doesn't look real. So that's what we're really trying to master, is getting it as photo and transparencies. Good luck with those. Those have been, I mean, that was a learning curve. But again, the technology is getting to where you can drop a texture on it and boom, this is metal now. And it's going to get that easy.
Since you mentioned that, I'll ask a follow-up question then. Like, as you're moving stuff around in the room and the light source is coming from different areas, is that reacting to the actual light source in the room or no?
This is what's so freaking awesome. Your phone is really
Are you
smart.
muted?
Oh, am I?
No,
No, he's good.
Oh, can you hear
it's
me?
good.
Okay.
All right. It must be on
This
my
is
end.
this is
there
the
we go.
exciting part. Your phone, along with distance, like even if it knows how far that object is from you. So if your hand gets to it, it will actually now go in front of your hand. So your phone is taking it's live rendering that object right there in that space based on lighting, based on reflections. That's why it looks so real in most cases. And it's unbelievable what our phones can do, because it used to take a huge supercomputer to do this kind of rendering just for an animation. Now it's doing it in real time. But it's why it's taken this long for this to really become a thing, because you needed a powerful computer that is in your hand and not, some supercomputer. But now we all have them, and they're building it in native to the OS. And that's what's so cool.
100.
Jeff, are you guys going to be at PPAI Expo Direct to You?
I know we'll have a presence. I'm not sure who will be, but we'll definitely have a presence there, for sure.
So it's something that people can come by and check out if they attend,
Correct.
or no?
I
correct?
need to check on that. It's
Yes.
not going to be me.
To be determined.
So to be determined.
He's like, yes, I'll be there, but I'm going to check on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on that and get back with you. I don't want to say because I don't know for sure.
Will you be at the
The reason I
PPAI
ask is,
Direct?
again, this wonderful sponsor of ours, so because we're talking about this great technology, if people did miss it at Expo, I was just wondering if it's something maybe people can go check out at Direct to You. But look, whether you missed Expo in Vegas for the extraordinary event experience that was out there, or if you're suffering from FOMO like Meg and myself, because you couldn't make it out to the event, PPAI has the solution. It's PPAI Expo Direct to You. And it's the extended PPAI Expo experience, conveniently located online. It features opportunities to meet with suppliers and enjoy industry-focused sessions from the PPAI Expo conference, as well as a collection of interviews and promo shorts from Expo Live. So it is PPAI Expo Direct to You. It's open Tuesday and Wednesday, February 22nd and 23rd. So go register at ppai.org/expo-direct, or I'm sorry, D2U. So that's ppai.org/expo-D, the number 2U. Yeah, and enjoy it. I think it'll be great. Look for SnugZ. Hopefully they'll be there and you can check out SwagAR.
Awesome. You guys
Thank
are
you,
great.
Jeff.
Thank you so
appreciate
much
it.
for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. It's great technology and super excited to see where it goes.
Cool. Thank you for having me. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.